Good evening to all the participants. I welcome you all on the fourth day of Faculty Development Program on Risk to Resilience, Innovative Resilience Strategies for Mitigating Climate Change. We are glad to have Dr. Ajay Vikram Ahirwar sir with us today. Dr. Ajay Vikram Ahirwar is an esteemed academic and environmental researcher, currently serving as an associate professor in the Civil Engineering Department at National Institute of Technology, Raipur, Chhattisgarh. With 18 years of teaching experience, Dr. Ahirwar is an expert in air pollution monitoring, atmospheric science, environmental impact assessment, and water and wastewater treatment. Dr. Ahirwar holds a PhD in environmental engineering from NIT Raipur, where his research focused on the characterization of carbonaceous aerosols and source identification in urban industrial areas. He also earned an MTech in Environmental Engineering from SGSITS Indore and a BE in Civil Engineering from IGEC Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. Dr. Hirwar's expertise extends to cutting edge environmental instrumentation, including atomic absorption spectrometry, semi continuous OCEC field analysis, ethalometer based black carbon measurement, and particulate and gaseous pollutant sampling. He has contributed significantly to national and state level environmental initiatives, such as representing NIT Raipur in collaboration with the National Knowledge Network and Chhattisgarh Environment Conservation Board to advance the National Clean Air Mission under the Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change. Additionally, he serves as an expert member on task forces for environmental management and pollution control constituted by the Chhattisgarh State Planning Commission and CECB. In his academic role, Dr. Hirwar has taught a range of subjects including air pollution and control measures, environmental impact assessment, EIA laws, surveying, environmental engineering, and so on. His work reflects a commitment to advancing environmental sustainability and contributing to the mitigation of environmental challenges through education, research, and collaborative action. Dr. Ajay Vikram Ahirwar has been actively involved in numerous research and consultancy projects, reflecting his deep expertise in the field of environmental engineering. He has authored 33 research articles published in reputed journals, presented at prestigious conferences, and contributed to books and book chapters, further solidifying his academic and professional contributions. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the Civil Engineering Department at IPS Academy. We are glad that you are here today and could find out time out of your busy schedule. I thank you, sir, and I request you to please take over the podium with us.
Okay. My topic is EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. As we know that every project requires EIA. Human needs development, and each development activity is directly linked to the environment. And because of complex relationship between the human and environment, and it is very important to evaluate and predict the impacts. It can be negative or positive of all type of development project, to provide an opportunity to mitigate against negative impacts and enhance positive impacts. The environmental impact assessment procedure was developed in the 1970s in India. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has made prior environmental clearance for development projects activities mandatory through an EIA notification 2006. And EIA may be defined as the EIA is a formal process. It is a formal process to predict. First we have to predict or assess the environmental consequences or impacts like biodiversity, vegetation, ecology, water and air of human development activities, and to plan appropriate measures to eliminate or reduce the adverse effect and no positive effects. In short form, we can say EIA is the process of first we have to identify the impacts, positive as well as negative impact, and then next is predicting that after the before the introduction of the project and after the introduction of any project, what will be the soil, water, air, and other quality, and then evaluating the environmental, socio-economic, and cultural impacts. And EIA is required for why EIA is required. EIA is required for mitigating, eliminating the risk of any project by replacing by replacing, by modifying, by using the alternatives, like in case of sponge iron industry, the coal plus dolochar, the other can be used, and in highway, alternative routes can be explored, so that less impact of that highway possible. Madam, next. Environmental clearance process. Example for highway, A category, B category, and general condition. So, for A category, this is as per EIA 2006 notification, and government is planning to modify the EIA notification 2020 in the year 2020, but still it is under preparation. And government wants some changes, like in A category, we can see that draft EIA 2020, the range of that distance is 100 kilometer as compared to 30 kilometer previously. In 2006 notification, new national highway and expansion of national highway greater than 30 kilometer involving additional right of way greater than 20 meter involving the land acquisition and passing through more than one state. If any project comes under this, then that is A category. Now the government planning to extend the kilometers. Draft EIA 2020 100 kilometer and 70 meter right of way. And for B category also, all state highway projects comes under the B category, and above project in hilly terrain above 1000 meter above mean sea level or ecological sensitive area. Now government is planning for in the draft EIA 2024 B1 category, same as above. Earlier it was B category, and now B1 category it is under planning. And here also in the general condition also, draft EIA 2024 B2 category in red marking. Draft EIA 2024 B2 category, 25 kilometer to 100 kilometer with right of way, 70 meter and state highway 500 meter and 1000 meter above MSL. Then the process of category A project environmental clearance process as per the MOEF EIA 2006 notification. First is generally that pre-feasibility project report with proposed terms of reference, and then scoping by EAC. Then next is if the TOR can be approved by EAC, or it can be rejected by MOEF on independence of the environmental assessment committee. And then next is if it is approved, then draft EIA report by project proponent, that the project proponent will prepare a comprehensive EIA report. And then next is public consultation process, public hearing, and then proceeding of public consultation. Next, ultimately, finally, it can be after approval from Ministry of Environment and Forest. It will be approved, or it rejected. The next is category B projects. Category B projects comes under the state government, state environmental assessment committee. So project concept, then site selection. Then next is TOR, terms of reference, TOR. Then scoping by site visit if it is required. Then after the treated as if the scoping if the committee recommend for category A, then it will be matter of central government. Otherwise, it will deals with state government. Category B1 project, EIA is required. For category B2, EIA is not required. The first that SEC is classified the project as per their impacts, category B1 and category B2. Then next is scoping by SEC. Then EC rejected by SIA, or if the two committees there, SEC, State Environmental Assessment Committee, as well as next is SIA, State Environmental Impact Authority, higher than SEC, higher than SEC. This SIA is higher than SEC. So if any project is approved by SEC, but SIA can reject that proposal. And then TOR approved by SEC. Then next is draft EIA report submitted to State Pollution Control Board by project component. Summary EIA and Form 1 display on the website, State Pollution Control Board. Then next is public consultation or public hearing. Then next is that committee will recommend the project approval by. Then after the recommendation by SAC, again it will come to the SIA, approval by SIA, and SIA can again reject and approve. And if it is approved, also then post environmental claims monitoring will be done, and submission of half yearly compilation report to SIA. After approval, also the monitoring of the pollutants is required, and submission of half yearly compliance report to SIA, and then finally display of compliance report on SIA website. So this is the process for B, that A, the category of A, and then category of next is category of B, and then next is environmental clearance process. Next, madam. Okay, all projects and activities are categorized A and B based on the potential impacts, health, resources, natural and man-made. Category A shall require environmental clearance from central government or Ministry of Environment and Forest and Expert Appraisal Committee, EAC. For category A, EAC will be competent authority, and for category B is under the SAC and SIA. First the project comes under the SAC, State Environmental Committee, and then after approval from SAC, it will come to the SIA. SIA having the power to reject or approve the if it is approved by SAC, but SIA can reject that project also.
वर्ड्स तो है ही नहीं 12वें चैप्टर के करने 12वां चैप्टर तो मतलब 10वां चैप्टर.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Then stage 1. Stage 1 is a screening only for category B. It involves the scrutiny of the application in case of category B seeking environmental clearance made in the Form 1 by SAC, whether project requires EIA or not. So first that under B category, the SAC will decide that this project should come under the B1 category or it should be under B2 category, because B1 category requires EIA study, comprehensive EIA study, and B2 category not required EIA. Depending on
sorry, sir, I'm intervening because
Yes,
I think EC is not required for all projects. If I go through your list, you say that for A category it requires from central government. That's correct. For B it requires from state government, but there are many projects which do not require environment clearance.
Yes. Okay, depending on the type of project, sir. Depending on the type of project and nature of project, because that category B, item number 8, construction and commercial and housing township shall not require EIA scoping, and only Form 1 is required. In case of any construction or commercial or housing or township project, it is not required, sir. The project requiring EIA shall be termed as category B1 and depending as B2, except 8B. 8B is construction and commercial and housing and township projects. Then stage 2 scoping, EAC SAC shall determine the terms of reference on the basis of the information furnished supplied by the applicants in Form 1 and 1A. Scoping approaches the list of issues, appropriate baseline, timeline prediction, and defining alternatives or relocation or by modifying the process. It is under that form scoping. And then category B, okay, category as per the above. Category B, item number 8, the construction, commercial and housing township shall not require scoping, only Form 1 required. Those shall be conveyed by to the applicant by EAC within 60 days on the receipt of Form 1. The next, ma'am. Stage 3. Stage 3 is public consultation. Stage 3 is public consultation. All category A and B1 requires public consultation, except item number 7F. Schedule of expansion of road, highway do not require further acquisition of land. Item 8, housing, construction, defense and security, not required the public consultation. Okay, public consult is a public hearing at the site, local affected person and other person having in writing. Okay, the public can comment during the public hearing, scrutiny by ESC, SEC, and final EIA in public hearing within 60 days, additional 15 days for further clarification, then validity of environmental clearance, then post environmental clearance monitoring. The mandatory submission of half yearly compliance report is required. The next is the EC granted to a person may be transferred during the validity period to another legal person entitled to undertake project. Power of attorney is required. Protected area under Wildlife Protection Act 1972 or critically polluted area CPA, eco-sensitive area or interstate boundaries or international boundaries that comes under the A category. The example of the highway projects, development highway projects are generally intended to improve the economic and social welfare of the people. Okay, the structure of EIE report. Next, ma'am. Structure of EIE report, that this is common for all. First is introduction, then project description, then analysis of alternatives like technology based or location based, then description of the environment, then impacts and mitigation measures, environmental monitoring program, additional studies, project benefits, environmental cost benefit analysis, environmental management plan is must, summary and conclusion and disclosure of consultant engaged. This example for only for highway EIE component. Project description should contain alignment, geological details, topography. Project description, first EIA component, the project description should, in case of highway, the alignment should be there, geological details, topography, then socio-economic, cultural aspects, land acquisition, then climatic conditions like rainfall, cyclone, earthquake, etc. Then essential maps to be required, satellite imagery, 10 kilometer either side of right of way, 15 kilometer aerial distance land use map, drainage map, 500 meter right of way. Then alternatives, that various alternatives of highway can be possible. So all alternatives should be there. Then environmental condition, the current condition, then the before the project, after, during the project, and after the project. It should be continuously monitoring should be done continuously. Then road safety audit, project benefit, environmental cost benefit analysis, EMP, environmental management plan, summary and conclusion. Okay, like this. And again, this is repetition. This process. It is for highway EIE draft 2020, or it is it is under preparation. It is not applicable now. We can skip this EIA draft 2020. Some changes, the government is planning some changes in the EIA draft in 2020. Madam, this can be skipped. EIA draft 2020. This can be skipped. Next, ma'am. Okay. Now come to the next is health impact assessment. Health impact assessment, generally I have included air pollution induced health impact assessment. Various tools available for the health impact assessment, like WHO, World Health Organization, having the AirQ Plus model. It is open tool by which we can assess the health impact due to air pollution. Suppose at Delhi, example of Delhi, if the PM 2.5 is suppose to 160 microgram per meter cube, then if it is increased by 10 microgram per meter cube, then what will be the impact of that increment of the particulate matter on the human health? This can be assessed with the help of WHO AirQ Plus, as well as United States Environmental Protection Agency also developed one WENMAP CE model. So these two models can be used for assessment of health impact assessment due to air pollution induced health impact assessment. The objective of this model is how much of a particular health effect is attributable to selected sorry, selected air pollutants, and what would be the changes in the health effect if air pollution level changes, and what are the health impact associated with the with poor air quality. Next, ma'am. This is the display of AirQ model developed by WHO. Here, madam, please zoom it. This is for health endpoint, incidence of chronic bronchitis in adults. We can estimate the mortality rate, then permanent disability rate, then incidence of chronic bronchitis, then different can be selected. Like this is the example of incidence of chronic bronchitis in the adults. So this is example. This AirQ models requires the baseline air quality, and if the baseline air quality, and then what will be the in next year, or if we want to project in next year or next 5 year, then what will be the impact of that increment in the air quality. Increment means in case of microgram per meter cube, if it is increased by 20 microgram per meter cube or 30 or 40 etc., then what will be the total cases cases will be registered. Here we can see that central, lower and upper range 69.73% is the estimated attributable proportion, estimated number of attributable cases, estimated number of attributable cases per lakh population is about this much percentage of population can be affected by the here. In this we can see total mortality, cardiovascular, respiratory, and OPD cases. Okay, then next is 4 PM10, 4 SOX, 4 NOx. What will be the relative risk? It is per 10 microgram per meter cube increment. This can be this software is very easy. Anyone can download it, and he or she can predict or assess the human health impact due to the air pollution. Next, ma'am. Next, just one we have compared this for Raipur city, because the Raipur city having the declination of particulate matter. So we can see two. Madam, both should be visible. Madam, previous slide. Madam, whole slide is not visible. Okay.
Sir, is this visible now?
Okay, one थोड़ा सा और move करिए. हाँ, okay, अब ठीक है. Next slide, ma'am. Next slide. Okay. Here we can compare that in Raipur city the minimum concentration is 168 microgram per meter cube, and it is for 168 microgram per meter cube, and right side it is decreased 72 microgram per meter cube. We can compare the cases due to the air pollution, incidence of chronic bronchitis in the adult. We can see in 2016-17 it is higher as compared to 22 and 23 year 22-23. थोड़ा सा और इसको करिए, कम करिए. Second, और थोड़ा. Okay, we can see here also in this much slide also we can see the comparison 2016-17 and 2022-23 for Raipur city, because the air pollution that concentration of particulate matter is decreased in nowadays as compared to 16 and 17 due to some industrial. Anyone can use this software. WHO AirQ Plus. It is freely available on WHO website. Next, wind map analysis. Then this tool is developed by United States Environmental Protection Agency, US EPA. Here we can see the air quality surface, then health impact configuration. Then next is this is just again change in the air quality, change in the health effect incidence. Same type of tools. This also, by this we can also access the health impact health assessment. But next, some part I want to add in this presentation. It is my field, aerosols, because the aerosols plays very important role in the climate change. Here we can here we will see that how it is how aerosol is affecting the climate. In this slides we can see that aerosols are the suspension. Okay, that aerosols direct effect of aerosols is warming as well as cooling. Some that it is my field. Black carbon aerosols having the warming potential, and some part of carbonaceous aerosols like organic carbon having the scattering nature. That the particle, if it is absorbed, then it is warming potential, and if a particle scatter, that is cooling nature. They like sulfate aerosols having the cooling potential. In some days in foreign, some government is trying to reduce the warming by spraying of sulfate aerosol. It is in news. It was in the news some days early. Okay, next is indirect effect of aerosols. Indirect effect of aerosols, it also influence cloud formation, its lifetime and coverage. How okay, that aerosols, CCN and size of aerosols, CCN cloud condensation nuclei. If the particles of finer nature, finer aerosols, then cloud droplets, because the droplets require some media. Rain droplets require some media, and then condensation, then precipitation. That media is particulate matter. Particulate matter is media for the formation of cloud droplets. And if the particulate matter is finer in nature, if fine aerosols is present in the atmosphere, then that cloud formation will take place. But of the droplets, the size of droplets will be lesser. And if it is lesser, then precipitation will be it is under research nowadays. Also, it is under research. What if the particulate matter is fine and if it is coarse, then how it will affect the lifetime clouds lifetime? Means as per my view, if it is of fine nature, if the cloud droplets is lesser size, then it will not condense. That then it will increase the lifetime of clouds. And if it is black carbon aerosols, if the cloud droplets is formed on the black carbon aerosols, then black carbon aerosols having the tendency to absorb the sunlight and causing warming, causing having the warming potential. So it causes the bursting of cloud droplets. Cloud droplets to banengi, but because of the absorption of the sunlight of all the wavelength, then the cloud droplets will burst out, and that the coverage of the clouds will be lesser. So how it is in an indirect effect. Aerosols can delay the cloud formation, and it delay the lifetime of clouds, and it can also this topic is very important for new researcher. ISRO and other institutes doing this work, like National Physical Laboratory, then IITM Pune, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology Pune, then PRRL, Physical Research Laboratory Ahmedabad. These all agencies working on this the cloud studies, cloud droplets. We can see here also the cloud various papers also published. Cloud lifetime enhanced, Rosenfeld at 2000, very famous research paper. An increase in the cloud droplets concentration, smaller the size. Then suppression in the cloud formation also, as discussed. Suppression in the cloud formation, warming if it is the black carbon aerosols, if the cloud droplets formed on the black carbon aerosols, then it will cause warming, and bursting of droplets can take place. Then it will suppress the cloud formation. The next is precipitation pattern. As we now we all are experiencing this shifting of southwest monsoon. It already this paper was published in the year 2005. Ramanathan et al. 2005, Chung et al. 2005, Menon et al. 2002. They predicted the shifting of southwest monsoon, as well as intensity and duration. We all are experiencing this. Then next is health effect. Then crop yield reduction also. Next, ma'am. Some okay. The convergence aerosols. Okay, the aerosols having tendency to absorb, it already covered. As per the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change AR5 report, IPCC 13, and the next report AR6, the black carbon aerosols induced global radiative forcing is 0.40 watt per meter square. 0.40 watt per meter square means it is the radiative forcing, or it is a warming potential of black carbon aerosols, and it is the second largest positive radiative forcing after CO2. CO2 in terms of concentration, it is very high, but black carbon aerosols also the second largest positive radiative forcing after CO2. Then black carbon aerosols also this field is very important for nowadays. This is very important, and that researchers should focus on this also. Then melting of glaciers, third pole, Hindu Kush Himalayan region, deposition of black carbon aerosols on snow, because it reduce the surface albedo, and it will accelerate the melting of ice. The black carbon aerosols deposit on the glaciers, and it will accelerate the melting of ice also. And different. Okay. Now next is very important tools for how to next. This is very important tools for nowadays that researchers working on this. If anyone wants to pursue your higher study on this aerosols, then this is very important tool. This is indicating this is the high speed back trajectory. Means suppose any by this we can predict the movement of air mass. Suppose any industry is emitting pollution. Any industry is emitting pollution. Then that pollution will flow in some direction, and this can be tracked by this this software. This is also that available freely. By this we can see here this was developed for 2015 December. Air mass is moving. Air mass is moving. This is 5 days back trajectory. 120 hours means 120. You can, madam, थोड़ा सा zoom करिए. Duration of this back trajectory is 120 hour. थोड़ा सा zoom करिए, इसमें duration है नीचे. हाँ. This is backward trajectory. थोड़ा सा zoom करिए और ऊपर. हाँ, duration. Okay, we can see that duration. Trajectory direction can be backward or forward. Means if we want to assess the pollution coming from which location and going to which location, so with the help of this tool we can track the movement of air mass. We can track the movement of air mass, and this duration is 120 hours. I have taken this 120 hours because the lifetime of aerosols is about 125 days, 5 to 7 days. It is lifetime of aerosols. That is why I have taken this 120 hours. So we can see that at various altitude, for 50 meter, red one is 50 meter. For red one is coming from northeast, south. red one is coming from which direction? Which direction? Anyone can please? And that lower altitude air mass movement, 50-meter height, then 500-meter height, and 2000-meter height. We can track the air mass movement. It is coming from Pacific area, then Arabian countries, and then this. But this, madam, this image is required some corrections, because this is as per the in this image some part of J&K is missing. So please, this image is when we will when we will use this software, that this will give such type of image of India. But this is very important tool to track the air mass movement. And next, ma'am. Okay. Now next is where, madam, ये last point है. Next one को मैं skip करूँगा. Okay, this is morphological characteristics. If anyone wants to pursue higher study on aerosols, if wants some research on aerosols or pollution, then he or she can use the morphological properties of aerosols, and only by aerosol by the morphological properties we can determine, we can assess the pollution. This pollution is coming from where? If with the help of this morphology of aerosol particles, we can identify the sources of pollution. Means here it is already given that suppose that first one is A part. If the morphology of A part, madam, इसको A part को थोड़ा सा zoom करिए. If after okay, this A part, if the morphology of the aerosols is like this, A, then we can see, madam, bottom में चलिए जहां पर वो लिखा हुआ है. हाँ, now A is indicating silico-manganese slag. It means this pollution is coming from, this type of aerosols is coming from slag. It is because of slag. Then various, you can see various A, B, C, D, E, F, G, quartz particle from coal, silico-manganese, coal burning. If only by this morphological property, we can identify the sources of pollution. So this is very important tools for जो भी researchers field में काम कर रहे हैं. They can focus on these all tools, that health impact assessment, then this high split back trajectory, then morphological property. Only this required same scanning electron microscope it will require, and with the help of aerosols, that filter paper, we can perform same analysis, and we can assess, we can differentiate the pollution sources also. So all are various. This is very good. Madam, now I want to conclude. If any questions, because the next slides is only for socio-economic impact assessment, not required much importance of the audience.
Sir, I would like to ask one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, how can we get these images? Which instrument is helpful for this?
Yes, these images can be by same scanning electron microscope. And you can also send your that filter paper in various sophisticated instruments and laboratory, safe available at IIT Madras, NIRI Nagpur, and every reputed institute having that safe instrumentation laboratory. There you can send your that filter paper for analysis of these images. And
I would like to open the discussion for the participants. If you have any questions, please open your mics and interact with sir.
yes, ma'am.
Sir, actually, I have mentioned few questions in the chat, but you have also answered them, I think, subsequently in your presentation. The only question which remain unanswered is, suppose you get an EC, which you said
Yes,
is for 5
Okay.
years. Sometimes I know it's for 6 years, but okay, let's say it's for 5 years and you are supposed to submit half-year compliance. Now,
Yes,
if an
yes.
industry does not submit or fail to submit, then what is the penalty and what is the corrective action?
Actually, sir, this is not my purview of, है ना. Uh, CPCB or State Pollution Control Board can take action. Like I am also member of SEC for Chhattisgarh government. Then just I have gone through some presentation, and the State Pollution Control Board imposed some penalty for querying. If any that stone query is under any proponent, and if that proponent additional mining, if perform additional mining, then that the government, that State Pollution Control Board impose, or in the mining department can impose penalty. Penalty it depends on the extent of additional mining or beyond the boundaries, because that person wants more stone, then they will mine additional area also. Then definitely that mining department and State Pollution Control Board impose penalty depending on the area.
One more
Additionally,
question, sir, linked to it. Once a EC is granted, can
yes,
it be revoked for non-submission of reports, or they have to first give warning and ask for compliance, or can they simply cancel the EC?
Actually, that EC is, if EIA is EIA, first they will submit the TOR, terms of reference, then EIA report based on the category, and if they want, they can withdraw.
So you can withdraw EC also. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
Fair
yes,
enough.
yes,
Fair enough.
yes.
Anybody else from the participants? You're welcome to have an interactive session with sir.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I am suffering from cough, cold, and fever, ma'am.
I'm
Because
so sorry, sir, that I'm disturbing you.
just returned from NIT Silchar. I participated in inter NIT cricket tournament there. That's why I rescheduled this.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. And in fact, I'm so sorry to
Yes.
trouble you
No,
at
no,
this
ma'am,
point
no,
of
ma'am.
time.
It's our duty.
It's really humble of you, sir, that in spite of such a busy schedule, you found out time for us. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
sir, one last question. One last question.
Yes, sir,
Since you
yes,
are
sir.
a part of SCI also,
Yes, yes,
my information is that public consultation is not necessary in many cases. You can
yes, yes,
avoid
yes,
it because sometimes that lead to more problems than solutions.
yes,
Public
yes,
may
yes,
not
yes, yes,
may not be fully informed and can create problems. So in many
yes,
EIA, I think public consultation is just avoided. Of
yes,
course, you have to keep PCB and SIA, SCIA informed, but in many
yes.
cases you just avoid the public consultation.
Yes, just मैं अपना मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है. NMDC का एक
जी
प्रोजेक्ट करंदुल में
जी
4,000 करोड़ का NMDC का. उसके लिए पब्लिक हियरिंग बहुत डिफिकल्टी आई उन लोगों को. जो गवर्नमेंट जो
जी
एजेंसी है उसको पब्लिक हियरिंग में बहुत डिफिकल्टी आई. बहुत दे फेस्ड वेरी दैट उसको this was my experience, because public hearing is very difficult. The conduction of public hearing is very difficult to conduct.
एग्रीड सर बिकॉज बेसलाइन मॉनिटरिंग हो उसकी रिपोर्ट्स भी हो तो कई बार वो सुनते नहीं है दे हैव
Yes,
देयर
yes,
ओन एजेंडाज
yes,
public has their own agenda sometimes which are not environmental which could be different.
yes, yes.
I think sir आराम कीजिए आज आपको हम डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेंगे but we will
नहीं
actually I keep
नहीं
coming
नहीं
to Raipur
नहीं,
तो
actually,
if you permit me I would like to meet you.
yeah, okay, sir. Anytime, just my number is on website, in NITRR website. You can see that all the information related to me available on website. That mobile number. That mobile number is मेरा 25 साल से वही मोबाइल नंबर है सर. एक ही
ठीक है
नंबर है.
सर
तो जो भी,
जी जी
और वो
बहुत अच्छा
मेल,
है सर जी
if anyone wants to interact, they can mail me, or they can call me also. If anyone wants to pursue a higher study in this field under my guidance, so he or she can mail me also.
thank you sir thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. That's really very humble of you.
Yes.
And I would like to thank you on behalf of the Civil Engineering Department at IPS Academy for enlightening us over this wonderful topic of aerosols. We would definitely like to have some more interactive sessions in person in future. Thank you so
Okay,
much,
ma'am.
sir.
I will be available at any time, ma'am. Okay. You just contact
Thank you
me.
so
I
much,
will be
sir.
available. Okay.
Definitely, sir. We will be in touch. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Can I leave, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Participants, we are requested to switch on your cameras for the attendance. And we will take a break of just 2 minutes and we'll be back with the next session, which is by Gaurav, sir.
Ma'am, just one request. Can you send us the presentations so that we can study them?
Definitely.
Before, and I know you told me
Definitely,
after
sir.
FDP, but in between also it's possible, sir. Ma'am.
I will try to track and send you as soon as possible, sir.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.